Hey everybody, it's another Spiny Ramble, another guest one, I guess. Hello, introduce yourself.
Are you doing editing on this at all? Because I just started the cat box.
Not really.
The box where the cat shits in is making noise. I don't know if you can pick it up.
I can't. I can hear you guys talking about it, but I can't hear the box itself.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm just gonna say that works as an introduction. Now explain yourself.
It's me, Matt, from Matt Presents. We do the show Hollow Victories, you and me.
Yeah, you wanted to talk about rating movies from a 1 to a 10 as a concept.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of wanted to get you on record and kind of talk about rating films numerically.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. I think sometimes that's a difficult thing.
I
I
mean, it
kind of
can be.
appreciate I've spent the last while on Letterboxd, and I appreciate my ability to just log a movie on Letterboxd and not put a score on it.
Mm-hmm.
I can just I can give it the little heart too. I love the little heart. Like that the heart I feel communicates a lot about how I feel about a movie.
I always am able to rate stuff from a 1 to a 10. Well, I mean, I always want to, but sometimes I do get lost on a film where it's like I don't fucking know, and then I just don't rate it because of that. But most of the time, it is just like I don't know. It's pretty self-explanatory to me. I normally don't give something a 10 on a first watch, even if I love it, because I feel like second viewings often are what determines that for me. Like like a 1 is something that's either like irredeemable or something that is like really really funny bad. Like a 1 out of 10 can be an honorable score, honestly.
I don't know. I Here's the thing: if I'm gonna give a movie an all the way 1 out of 10, it's gotta piss me off. If it's funny bad, I'm gonna at least give it a 2.
I yeah, I've given movies that I found funny about a 1, but I also, like I said, it's to me a 1 can be a badge of honor in a way for me personally.
Sometimes I
Um,
wish they would give it a 0 out of 10. Specific. Because I'm okay, some of these are zeros and some of these are ones. Okay, there are some movies I have given a 2 to. I might give a 1 to if I had the zero option.
I do think that a lot of people put a little bit too much meaning into some of those number scores. Like I see people get upset about the number that someone gave something sometimes, and I don't really see the point in that because to me it's just kind of a way of categorizing your favorite movies to your least favorite movies. I also see a lot of people act like I swear to God, some people treat a 7 out of 10 like it's a 5 out of 10, like a 7 is bad. That's never changed either. Like when I've started paying attention to like film reviews and or film YouTube, that was the case, and that is still the case. Like a 7 is just considered such a bad score, and it's like no, it's not. That's good. 7 is good.
I
Um,
think 7 is kind of the borderline of oh, this is good enough that I'm gonna recommend it more generally, you know?
Yeah, I think like a 6, a 5 is average. Like a lot of people say 7 is average. No, a 5 is average. It's quite literally down the middle. It's average. A 6 is above average, and then a 7 is where I'm actually like comfortable calling a movie like good or great. An 8 or 9 is like almost perfect, and then a 10 is perfect. I mean, obviously, it's all subjective, but perfect to me. You know, like if I can't think of a single thing wrong with a movie, and I also enjoy watching it, it's getting a 10. Now there are some movies where I can't think of anything that I would do differently, where I can't think of a single thing wrong with it that I still won't give the 10 to because it's like, oh, that was like really like flawlessly done, but there's still like something in it that's not connecting with me quite as much as it is with other people.
I almost feel for me, the difference between a 9 and a 10 is some deeper. Like, it has to connect with me on some deeper level where I'm like, no, this is a 10.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes I give 9s to stuff that I'm like, yeah, that was exceptional. You did everything right. Didn't hit me deep down where a 10 does.
Right. I'm trying to think of like what is some stuff that I've given the 9 to, because a lot of times a 9 is just like it's not a 10 yet, because I like to rewatch films before I give them a 10. There's very few movies I've given like a 10 right off the bat. I think even Everything Everywhere All at Once, which I loved, was a 9 until I rewatched it with you guys, and then I boosted it up to a 10.
I also did that, though. Like, I gave it a 9 when I saw it in theaters, but then watching it with you guys, I was like, this is a 10.
Well, I also think like a lot of like the movies that I put in my like a 10 out of 10 are very bizarre movies. They're movies that are making choices that might like catch you off guard the first time you're watching it. Not necessarily in a bad way. It's good if a film can catch you off guard, but it's like just something about it there's just something about it where it's like, I think I really like this, but I'm not sure about every decision being made. And then on a rewatch, like every single decision that you were maybe like skeptical or confused about starts making sense now that you have like the context of the full picture.
Yeah, I do feel like generally, like, I appreciate something more on a rewatch. That happens more often than liking it less.
Like another one that I think is a 10 for me was I'm Thinking of Ending Things, Charlie Kaufman's movie, which the first time I watched it, I enjoyed it, but I had no idea what the fuck was going on. And that's like an instance where if I gave that a 10 on my first watch, that would just be complete bullshit, because I don't think you can give a 10 to something that you openly don't understand. And then I rewatched it with the context of what the film actually was about, and it's one that I really enjoyed watching. It's one that connected with me on a personal level. It's an insanely depressing movie, but it was one where it was just like, yeah, I really connect with this one. I really like this one. Honest to God, I feel that way about most of Kaufman's work. The only one that I don't have at a 10, I think, other than like stuff where I'm hesitant to call it his, like Ori. What's that movie called? The Dark movie, Afraid of the Dark movie. Yeah, like and I like that movie, but it's definitely not a 10. But I don't even know if it's fair to call that a Charlie Kaufman movie. I don't think it is.
It's definitely his writing style. Mm-hmm. It is very clearly his writing style.
But
it is also like a DreamWorks movie, so
yeah. But then there's like but then being I think being John Malkovich is the only one that I don't have at a 10. And I know he wrote that one too and didn't direct it, but God, it just still feels like it feels closer to something he would make,
I think I do have being John Malkovich at a 10.
And the thing is, I've only watched the movie once, though. I might give it a 10 eventually.
I'll tell you what it is, though. Spike Jonze, who directed being John Malkovich, he's made like 4 narrative films and like some Beastie Boys documentaries. But he, like, of his narrative films, I have 3 of them at a 10, and I have Where the Wild Things Are at a 9.
Yeah, and Where the Wild Things Are, I think I also have it at a 9. I don't know if it's I think I have like because I have Adaptation and Her at a 10. But yeah, Where the Wild Things Are could be a 10. It's just one of those. It's one of those where I'm like, I'm not sure. I think the thing is, I do really love it, and I love what it's saying. I guess it isn't like one of those movies I connect with on a deeper level. I like what it's exploring with childhood, but I think the kid in that movie had a rougher childhood than me. So I guess I'm seeing it and I'm appreciating it. I don't know if I'm connecting with it on the deeper level that I think some people truly will. Because I think it's I think it's a very interesting film about just like kind of watching a family grow apart from like a child's perspective. But I think it's genius that they were able to adapt that into a fucking children's book. It
is a weirdly adult Where the Wild Things Are movie.
And I could also see some people hating it for that, you know. But
Yeah.
I love that they went that route. I
No,
think it's like
I love it too.
I think it's an insanely interesting film. Um,
Um,
I get I kind of so like seven I said is good or great.
yeah,
Seven to, like
eight is kind of. Eight is where I put a lot of like fun movies where I'm like that was perfect, but it was also like not like the most brilliant thing you could have made. Like Hardcore Henry.
I was gonna say Hardcore Henry.
That's a fucking amazing movie, but it's an 8 out of 10.
Yeah,
It's perfect for what it is, but like what it is an 8 out of 10.
I think Kung Fury is another 8 out of 10 for me. But to be fair, if they make a feature length Kung Fury, which I believe they've been trying to for God knows how long now, if they made a feature length Kung Fury, I might, despite the silliness, I might be like, because a movie can be silly and still be a 10. I might be willing to make that a 10. I think Kung Fury, like the one thing holding it back is just the fact that it's only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
But Kung Fury is an 8. I kind of agree with that. It's like movies that are.
I mean, it's also where I put like some dramatic stuff where it's like, there's stuff here that like could be better, but it was still really good overall, you know.
Sometimes I'll like put something at a 9 because I really love it and I think it's like presented flawlessly. But it is like sometimes it's like a pacing thing where it's like, but because of how slow the pace is, even though I think the slow pace is necessary for the story, because of how slow paced it is, it's not something I'm dying to revisit. And for me, like a movie that I'm like one of those, and I have seen this movie more than once. Like It Comes at Night, I love that movie. I think that is an excellent movie about paranoia. But it's a slow burn. It's a really slow burn. So if you're I think that movie got so much shit because people thought it was going to be a monster movie, and no, it's just like this really slow movie about paranoid people living in a horrible situation. And I think it's brilliant. I think the entire thing is like very well crafted, very interesting, very well shot and edited, very well acted. It is kind of it's never one that I'm dying to rewatch because of the pace, but I have watched it I think like 3 times, so I can get there.
Um, yeah, 7 out of 10 is kind of right on the border of like, okay, this is generally gonna be appealing to people. It's not great, but it's good. It's a good movie. 6 out of 10, I think there's two different styles of. I think there are two distinct 6 out of 10s, and that's why I really appreciate the letterboxed heart, because there's the 6 out of 10 that's like, I don't like this, but I get why people do, and then there's the 6 out of 10 that's like, I like this, but I get why people don't.
Yeah, I think often if I might sometimes go a little higher than a 6 if I'm in that situation. I guess it depends on the movie because it's like, well, I'm still gonna rate this higher than them. I don't care, but it's also like, I don't know. I mean, I understand why someone wouldn't like Little Murders, a movie that you showed me recently, but that's at a 9 for now, and it's staying at a 9. I mean, it might go to a 10. It's probably not going to go to an 8. The
I really liked that one.
Right. Yeah, I get it. Like it's the difference between like, oh, I really love this, even though some people hate it, and also it's like the reason that someone would dislike that's a bit more. I don't. It's hard to explain. It's more so. It's more it. The type of person who doesn't like that movie is gonna dislike a lot of very similar movies.
Yeah. Yeah. I think an example for me is like Rob Zombie's House of a Thousand Corpses. I really enjoy that film. I totally get why people would be turned off by that movie. So I'm like, no, I get it. 6 out of 10, but 6 out of 10 with a heart.
I guess moving down a bit because I haven't said all of them. Like a 4 is below average. There's more.
I kind of think there are two types of 5s too. There's the 5 where it's like, okay, nothing good, nothing bad in here, and then there's the 5 that's like, there's a lot of good stuff. There's also a lot of bad stuff.
I agree with that too. But it's still narrows down to average. But yeah, I mean, a 5 can either mean boring, or it can mean, but like boring but competent, or it can mean like half of the decisions made were good and half of them were bad. I do think it normally comes down to boring, though. I think that happens more often than the other. Like, I really loved the movie, and I rated this one higher than a 5, but I really loved the movie Upgrade. But I think that there is a lot of like waiting for the good parts in that movie, and once it gets started, it's there. I'd say more than half of it's a good movie, but like, God, it like could not have started in a more generic and uninteresting way. Like I went and saw that in theaters, and I remember like 30 minutes, and I was like, "Oh God, I picked a fucking stinker this time." And then it got like insanely good. You know, like it had a complete turnaround. It's one of the best turnarounds in a movie I ever saw. It's not like the first 30 minutes suck. It's just like they do suck a little bit. It's just really, it's so generic. It's like the fucking dialogue, this fucking, it's just like a really generic movie for the first 30 minutes, and then it gets, like I said, it gets really good. I'm trying to think of a movie that I would consider half great and half horrible.
The 2002 Scooby-Doo movie.
It's been so long.
So much about this movie that I love, but also like, my God, there's so many stupid decisions in this movie. Like it is half and half for me. 4 is like, okay, this is bad, but like it's got redeeming qualities, you know.
Yeah, a lot of Hollow Victory movies end up with a 4 for me.
Yeah. Like, oh, it looked nice. There was this character I liked. There was this scene I liked. 4 out of 10. I think the difference between a 2 and 3 is very hard for me to decipher sometimes.
I guess for me, a 2 is like a 2 is like really just the movie did something just barely avoided getting the lowest score. You know, they did like they're holding on by a fucking thread. And then a 3 is like, okay, we're beyond, we are at bad. You know, I'm not just gonna call it below average now. You are a bad movie. But you do have a couple of things going.
Yeah.
Where 4 is below average, but like maybe, you know, like a 4 could quite literally be a 40%, and that's almost that means almost half of it is good. You know.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could even argue a 4 out of 10 isn't quite bad yet. You're just getting there. It's definitely not good.
Yeah, I would consider it a negative score.
Yeah. Here, you know, I should open up my letterbox, because I mean, that one's like 5-star, but you can do half stars. So to me, it is still just rating stuff from 1 to 10.
I just transpose it in my brain to like out of 10.
Yeah, same. Let me look at my. Can't you check your 10s and like just like look how much stuff you've rated up? What?
You can, if you go to your films, you can sort by your rating highest first.
Let me do that. Yeah. Let's see. Highest first. Okay. What? That can't be right. It has something. I gave a 9 at the top. I've given stuff a 10. Yeah, okay, this is broken already. All right, whatever. I'll just go off of this. Like Whiplash is an easy 10. Everything Everywhere All at Once, Mary and Max, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Those are all like easy 10s. Goodfellas and The Godfather I have at a 9, and they could be 10s. I've only watched both of them once, and I watched them very recently. Banshees of Inisherin is a 9. Hundreds of Beavers is a rare instance of me giving a movie a 10 before watching it a second time. Because I just watched it and I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to be bored on a second watch of this. It like does everything perfectly.
That's one I think I bumped up on a second viewing. Like somehow it just felt way better paced when I was watching it like at home with you guys versus like in a theater.
Yeah. I kind of get what you're saying with the 6 of like, I get why people like this, because 2 I have it a 6. that in their recent films too that I really like was not into, but I kind of understand where people are coming from, is The Holdovers and Killers of the Flower Moon. Really couldn't get into either of them. I tried. I liked The Holdovers a little bit more. Obviously, two very different movies. But I mean, the Killers of the Flower Moon, I can at least acknowledge as I'm watching it. This is a very well shot film. This is a very well acted film. I was bored out of my mind watching it. The Holdovers, I found the charm in it, but I just felt like I was watching something I've already seen a bunch of times.
It's a very predictable story, but I like the characters. I like the performances.
I gave The Wild Robot a 5 because, I mean, I know it's another one people really love, but I guess for that one it is like I thought half of it was great stuff. That's my answer for a movie that I thought half of it was great and half of it was terrible. Like, I really don't like the script in that movie. I don't think it's a well-written movie at all. But I love the way it looks. I love the music. I think it's likable. Like, I think the characters are likable main characters. I get why people watch them and connect with them, but I'm just like, every beat of the story is just like the most predictable thing in existence, and I just like got so bored watching it because of that. Movies like Spinal Tap and Emperor's New Groove, I have it a 7. Very very fun movies, not movies I'm dying to see again, but I definitely would call them good. Let's look at what movies do I think are shit? It's mainly just gonna be Hall of Victors.
Yeah. I have a list of all of the movies I've given 1 out of 10 or half a star on Letterboxd to. It's 29 movies. I've only given it to 29 movies. You gotta piss me off to get this score. Walk the Dark Street, Monster A Go-Go, Orgy of the Dead, Carnival Magic, Boogeyman 2, Guinea Pig, The Devil's Experiments, the Garbage Pail Kids movie.
I haven't seen that.
The Critic Classic.
Yeah.
Terminator 2, Shocking Dark. That might be the worst movie I reviewed on Matt's Fun Time Bad Movie Show. Like, it was the one I had the least fun reviewing. Fart the Movie, The Rollerblade 7, The Christmas Brigade, Baby Geniuses, the original, The Underground Comedy Movie, August Underground Mortem, Fat Slags, Pledge This, Surf School. When I was in high school, I was like going through the movies on the IMDb bottom 100, and I had to stop because I'm like, these are like bad. These are not funny bad. These are bad. Curse of the Zodiac, epic movie, Meet the Spartans, Metalheads, The Good, the Bad, and the Evil, Ant Farm Dickhole, Megan is Missing, Ginger Dead Man 3, Saturday Night Cleaver, Leprechaun Origins, Evil Bong 420, God's Not Dead 2, 365 Days and Lady Ballers. The 29 films I've given a 1 out of 10 to.
I'm gonna read off everything that I've given a 10 to, and
I have like way more 10s.
So the thing is, like, some of these are definitely not accurate, and I don't get it why I put them here. Some of them are definitely accurate, like Office Space 10, Hiccups, Joel Haver's film, The Substance, Hundreds of Beavers, Memoir of a Snail, Hello My Beautiful Creatures, South Park Bigger, Longer, Uncut, Poor Things, The SpongeBob SquarePants Movie, Monsters Inc., Toy Story 2, Mickey's Christmas Carol, which I must have been like a nostalgia thing. Like, this is nostalgic. I had fun watching. I'm just going to give it the highest score. Twitches because it had Dark Howard in it. Love on a Leash. Glenn or Glenda, which I'm actually kind of surprised I have Glenn or Glenda at a 10. I think that would be like, no, I don't think that's a 10. I think I appreciate it more than I like it, actually. I have Tar at a 10. After Sun at a 10. Love Spoons at a 10. That's a good movie. It's a very good movie. That's kind of out of respect for Austin. Adaptations a 10. Whiplash. Ed Wood. Mac and Me. Turkish Star Wars. 3 Giant Men.
And
And then there,
Marmaduke.
Marmaduke is one of them. Yes, Everything Everywhere All at Once. Mentioned that one a few times. Eternal Sunshine, Mary Max, and then it moves on to nines, which is Little Murders. I'm not gonna read all of these. First Blood, Last Temptation of Christ, Zardoz, uh, Local Legends, which I think is a little charitable. I might put that one down a bit, but I like Local Legends a lot. I have Dream Scenario at a 9. That was a really good movie. Banshees of Inisherin, Marcel, The Shell.
All right, I'm looking at your half stars and I'm counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh, wait, no, not those last two. So just 9. 9 of these are because of Hollow Victories.
Yeah, I think the only one that's not because of a video, too, is Ice Age. The fifth one, to be specific.
Oh, wait, Hubie Halloween 2. Hubie Halloween really? That is not that bad.
Maybe it's a movie that I feel nothing while watching, so yeah.
Also, you've got King of Fighters here, which was movie night.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Space Jam: A New Legacy should also be half a star. I'll say that.
Anything else to say?
Oh, well, I mean, what do you think about? I mean, some people hate the number rating. I will say I think it's I don't think it's necessary. I think that like you should be able to review or discuss a film or game or whatever without having to attach a number score. In fact, I don't do that in TV show, movies, or Last Call on my channel. I mean, I think at the very start of Last Call gave number scores, and then I stopped just because it didn't feel necessary. But I do like to use it as a way of organizing. It to me, it like brings me. It's always nice to be able to give something a 10. It's always nice to be able to rank something like within those top 3 numbers, you know.
Yeah, I think it's a very useful scale, but I think there's a lot of gray area that it doesn't quite cover.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, I even sort of like the Anthony Fantano style, like, oh, this is like a strong 7 or this is a light 7 because
Yeah.
like some movies are better than others and they're like still a 7.
I think sometimes looking at this list, I give movies an 8, almost feeling like I'm obligated to for some reason, and I do think I need to be a bit more. That's one thing I will say about the number scores. I do think you need to be a bit. If you're not, I mean, some people are going to strongly disagree with me saying this, but I think you actually should try to be more subjective. Like, keep it true to yourself. Your number score doesn't say anything about a movie objectively, so just make it as subjective as possible. Because, like, looking at my list, I've got Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, and The Whale at an 8, and I think I have them there because I think that they're very well made movies from directors I respect. But The Whale makes me so goddamn fucking miserable to watch, even though I do think it's a good movie. I don't ever want to watch that movie again. Licorice Pizza, I remember nothing about. And Nightmare Alley, I think, has a really solid ending, and I like but I don't know, the second half of the movie kind of bores me. So I don't think that any of those should be at an 8.
I really liked The Whale. I get why people are like, ooh, this is rough.
I think I don't think The Whale should have been anything different. I don't think it's a movie that needed to change, but it is one where it's like, wow, I'm frustrated watching this fucking thing. Have you seen The Menu yet?
I have seen The Menu. We talked about it.
All right, that's a good movie. That's a good fun one. That was
a really good movie.
Yeah, that's like I do think it's a little a little on the silly side. It definitely feels self-aware, but that's one where it's like, yeah, that's a great 8 out of 10. But anyway,
I have it higher. I did really like The Menu.
yeah, you have it 1 point higher than me.
Might be a 9. Might be a 9. Yeah, I got it at a 9. But I read that one.
I guess we should wrap this up.
Yeah, let's wrap this one up.
Thank you
Thanks
for rambling.
with me.
Yeah. Anytime we can tell me what you want to ramble about, and we'll ramble about it. Anyway.
I mean, you misunderstood me and thought I was talking about the MPAA, but we could absolutely talk about the MPAA too. I have a lot to say.
I could talk about that. I feel like my number one go-to would just be watch this film is not yet rated. It's still relevant, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, till next time.